Hello, this lesson is on one-dimensional array. After completing this lesson, you'll be able to tell the characteristics of a typical one-dimensional array. You'll be able to explain the two types of initialization for array elements, and you'll be also able to use the inter-function communication of array in three different ways. So one-dimensional array, or the 1D matrix, uses just one subscript. See, this one-dimensional array is basically a list of values. So within that list of values, the element position is important, and that element position within this flat level list can be completely represented by using one subscript. We have already checked the one-dimensional array declaration in the previous lesson, that is array introduction. So here is one such integer array, one-dimensional of course. So here we are using just one subscript, and with that one subscript we are basically representing the first index, the next index, and the last index. So in total there are three number of elements, and for that integer array, one-dimensional array, each of these elements can be initialized to some specific values. So the initialization can be done in two different ways. One is the compile time initialization, another is the runtime initialization. So compile time initialization happens when you have written a code something like this in your C program, and the moment the C program is compiled, so as a result of this code compilation, this particular integer array will be created with the first index value will be populated with 10, second index value will be populated with 20, and the last index value will be populated with 30. So obviously the value of num2 here will be 30. What will happen if we tweak the initialization in a little different way? That means we are using the array dimension as 3, but we are skipping the last element. So as a result of that, 10 will be populated here, 20 will be populated here, and since there are total of 3 elements, 2 elements have been already filled, but there is nothing for the last element, so it will be automatically initialized to 0. So what is the value of num2? In this case, it is going to be 0. And what about this example? Well, here we can see that no dimension has been specified, but on the right hand side we can see the initialized values, that those are our values for initialization. Those are like 10 and 20. So 10 will be, this is the first element, 20 will be the second element, and since there is nothing specified here, the compiler will take this as 2-element array, and in that case num2 is no way applicable, because num2 is indicating the third element, whereas in this example we are having 2-element integer array. In C program we do not have a separate data type like string, but string can surely be represented in C program in the form of character array. So note this example carefully. So here we are specifying a character array without any dimension and trying to initialize with this name. Note the double quote. So this indicates like string initialization. But the following statement has got the exactly the same effect as the previous one. The only difference is now instead of using a double quoted character string, we are using single quoted characters. So in that way, we are getting something like this is going as a first element, second element, third element, fourth element, and fifth element. Please note that for successful representation of character array, we need something like a null terminator character, which is /0. So this is always to be additionally placed at the end of your desired characters. But in both the cases, it is basically declaring a string, a character array called name, and the value is Raja. In the second example, we have already checked that the size of the name, that is a character array, is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is no harm in specifying the dimension exactly at 5. So all three statements are basically the same. And runtime initialization can be achieved by doing the assignment. So num I equal to 3, or more accurate example will be num I equal to j into 10 or something like that. So based on the value of j runtime, it will be deriving the value of j into 10, and then we'll be assigning into num I. Similarly, we can take input for num I using scanf function. So this value is not known at the time of compilation, but at the runtime, whatever value will be put by the user, that will be going into the num I. From one function to another in a C program, an array can be passed in one of the three techniques. That is passing the value of array element, passing the address of array element, and passing entire array. Let's check the examples in the following pages. So in this example, from the main function, it is passing an array element to the this function. So if you look carefully, this is 0, this is index 1, 2, 3. So what is the value of ARR3? That is 4. So as a result of that, 4 will be passed to the this function, and if we go over here, the this function with parameter as 4 will be simply go ahead and print the value of num, which is 4. Instead of passing the value of the array element, we can also pass the address. So for this index position 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So the address for this particular element will be passed over here, and then from the this function, it now knows that it is not a value but it is some address. So it can be specially represented as star. It is something to do with the pointer concept. So you're just getting the flavor right now, but you'll be grabbing the details while we'll be exploring the concept of pointer. Okay, that will be another lesson after this. So in any case, the address has been supplied, and from that address it will be picking up the value. What was the value of at that particular address? It was 4. So what output you can. So it's in the same address, it pulls up the original value, and that's how it is able to print 4. So that was the expected output. So from here, main has called this function, and the entire array has been passed over here. This array has got 5 elements, and in the body of this, the loop has printed all the 5 elements in the array. Please note that in the called function, the array is without any dimension. And these are the lesson references.